together we survive.
Pain as portal. Queer crip magic. Interdependence is power. Welcome to Held Together. I'm Xander Keller, and I'm in my bed, as usual. This bed that has gone from an isolation chamber to a community space. And I want to invite you in. Held Together is an invocation, an exposing, where we literally bring folks into my bed to talk about life inside a care web. A web that includes disability, queerness, sickness, neurodivergence, and the intimate realities of interdependence. I used to try to hold it all together, and now I feel held together.
There's something around you both being such sensitive beings, and also then somehow maybe from that or through that, how you are called, maybe yourself feel called, but also called by others to hold conflict. And Xander just had quite the experience with that recently. And I'm kind of curious about what it is for both of you in that way.
Yeah, gosh, what happened?
Which one? Oh. Yeah, lots of conflict and lots of me being the bridge person, which is like such an interesting theme.
Is that hard on your nervous system, or does it feel like you can give back what you didn't get? And so it's feeling.
I think I'm still trying to learn how to be with it. I think historically it's been hard, but my nervous system has also historically been fried and like over extended, and like just thinking of being a bridge, like that's a intense posture, especially if people are walking on it or like cars are on it, like that's a lot to be. And it's so beautiful. Like, what else would I rather be besides a bridge? And also, yeah, what is the cost to me has been a really big inquiry. And like, what is the architecture? Actually, just in Pennsylvania, I saw these amazing covered bridges, which I'd never seen before. And
there's one right over there.
Really?
It's really old.
It's so beautiful.
100 and something.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know about this.
And
but
it's really bizarre that it's right over there and that you're bringing this up.
Wow. Fascinating. Yeah, that was like the main site in rural Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, with covered bridges. But I was just so interested in like the way that it's structured and built, and just bridges in general. Like there's so many different ways to build them and to structure them. And so I think for me, depending on what kind of a bridge I am and what certain situation, it can be really hard on me or it can feel really easy. Sometimes I can feel like a channel bridge where like whenever I feel like a channel, it's not hard because it's not me. And like if I can just be if I can just be a vessel for the things to move through me, that's not hard. But when I'm not, or when it's leaky, or when there's like things that are not flowing correctly, or when I have to like do a lot of work to get it through, then that is so exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of conflict work too, and interesting, like these last couple years, I've been just so exhausted, and maybe because I'm thinking, well, I've been exhausted a lot of my life, but there's something about it might be getting older, or I don't know, but it's like I do not want to be in conflict zones. And I feel like I want to help. I want to use my training and my experience. Actually, through Sarah, she's part of it too. This week we're gonna be, it's volunteer work. We're gonna be working with I forget the legal term, but people who were wrongly accused, and I don't think they got convicted, but they had to go through a horrendous, expensive, long, totally stressful thing, right? And I didn't realize there's no compensation for those people when they're like, oh, yeah, okay, you're innocent. Now you can leave after we've torn your life apart and you don't have a job anymore. And so um, these exonerees, I think is what they're called. So there's a group and they've all been had different situations, but they've all been in that situation circumstance. And there's I don't know enough about it yet. I haven't read all the stuff I'm supposed to read. Um, they're going to court to ask that there's a new law where people in their situation get compensated.
Wow.
I was like, blew me away that you don't, right? The things we don't think about unless you find yourself in that place. And so I'm gonna be part of helping develop the messaging that they're gonna give and have it be non-polarizing. That's my part. So I'm really called to do more things like that around shame and blame and anger and being clean about it in a way that you don't perpetuate the trauma pattern, but you advocate for the healing step that usually we don't take, right? So I have the energy for that, but to be in a place where there's really angry people that are wanting the other person to suffer, and I'm trying to be in the middle of that. And like you say, when I can slip into that place where I'm not doing it, I'm just being used, but somehow I don't even want to go there. The last couple of years, it's like my body can't take it. My nervous system, I don't know how to have enough. It isn't even resiliency because that kind of implies onslaught and then recovery. It's like I can't have the onslaught.
Right.
Even if my head is in another space and I'm not making stories out of it or taking it on emotionally, I can't take the physical energy of it.
And previously you've done
I
that
never liked it.
work.
It was never easy on my body.
Mhm.
I had little tricks, but yeah, it's always been hard physiologically for me, but so uplifting and healing at the same time, right? There's payoffs, but the costs too.
Yeah, that's like what I was asking you, if it was draining or energizing to be called on to
Right.
come and do that.
I think it's both. I think there's some part of me that is fed in the process of looking at things. And less so now, but historically, I felt so much pain around the level of pushing things under the rug and forgetting and just erasing harms and pain and struggle, that there's something so special about, like, conflict is intimacy. Like when we
Totally.
can show up in the mess, in the pain, in the harm, and communicate about it, like, that is so beautiful, and it's something that I haven't known. And so there's part of me that's like, wow, I want to learn how to do this, and I want to be with this because this is different. Like, I know that the numbing out and just stuffing it away and not looking at it is not good for my system. Like, that is so painful. And I am really curious what else is possible, because the conflict is also exhausting. And there's all of these traumas that get brought in. Like, it feels like whatever the conflict is also carrying all these other traumas that are now here too, which is also beautiful to be like, oh wow, this isn't actually this, this is all these other things, but that's a lot. And what do we actually need to be able to be with all of that? And do we even have that collectively, or do I have that? And not really, like, wow, to actually do the work of being with all of this is more than I think, yeah, I know really how to be with at this moment. And so trying to, yeah, be with that of like, how much can I be with this and how much can we be with this until it's like causing more recapitulation of trauma or other things. And so I think, yeah, this definitely doesn't feel clear to me. Um, and I do notice myself sometimes just self-protecting, right? Where I'm like, because I can easily be Switzerland. I can be a bridge, I can be Switzerland, where like somehow all of these people who aren't seeing eye to eye, like I can kind of connect with. And then it's like, okay, well, what am I feeling in this moment? Because that's also my old patterning of like, I'm good if everyone else is good, like, which is another one of my, maybe not critics, but one of my internal things is like, I have no needs. If everyone else is okay, then I'll be okay.
Right.
And so that can show up in this place as well, where like I can understand where everyone's coming from here, and I can lose myself in that
Yeah, it's
process.
so complex. All of it's part of it.
Right.
Whether we like it or not, it
Yeah.
all comes in.
Everything's
Yeah.
here.
I think as you were sharing and I was feeling into everything you were saying, I got in touch with something. I think that what I can't deal with the last couple of years, I was going to say anymore, but I don't know about that, is the stories. I'm just so tired of the stories. Like the raw emotion and helping people embody that and let it flow through and release it and see what's next. I can do that. I can be around some pretty intense, raw emotion. It's those stories.
Yeah.
And maybe I just can't take it anymore because of what's happening with our government and all that like victim triangle language that's constantly being spewing out stories. Maybe that's what just like I became allergic to it. It's like I'm staying away from any of those stories,
Uh-huh.
which also makes me feel guilty. It's like I haven't been in a situation where I'm called to do it, so I don't know how I would feel. I'd probably rise to the occasion, but I really don't want to hear the stories of the people that have really different beliefs than me politically right now. I don't want to hear it. I pretty much know the variations of it, and it feels like such an energy leak. It feels like
Mm.
it's not energetically at the level that I want to live at. And then I look at like, am I doing spiritual bypassing? No, I don't think so. I think I just can't be around that level of toxicity if I don't have to. I'm not going to go toward it. And then, I might not have a choice because it's going to be tidal waves of it more and more.
Well, and what you just said is very much about choosing and having choice with where your energy goes, especially because your energy isn't always available.
Yeah, I'm limited.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like what you were saying about this weekend, how to do as little as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one of the biggest gifts for me with chronic illness is I'm really motivated to shore up my leaks or any of the other things that are draining me, because I don't have an unlimited font of energy, and nobody does, but I can't live under the false veil that exists. And so I got to be really specific about how and when and with whom I spend my time. And that, I think, there's this part of me, and I don't know if I'm sure it's conditioning, but just like wants to do everything. And like Nora and I are both sevens, and so we're like, do the things and live the life and the people and so interesting and fun and adventure and like novelty and ADHD and blah blah blah. And like that is so much me. And so being forced to be in bed and to like have to slow the fuck down is the best gift that anything could have ever given me, because I don't know what else would do that for me, and to help to really be like, because I can listen to anybody's story, and maybe it's youth or whatever, but I'm like, I want to hear why you like Trump. I want to hear why you're a billionaire. Like, I want to hear like what your hurt is. Like, I can sit with anybody and value them, and also like I don't have energy. I can't do that. And it also makes it so helpful to like wake up at 2 a.m. and be like, I have to change my flight to go see Anusuya.
I love that so much.
Because it's like so clear,
Right.
It's like just like, yep, that's like, and all these other things, no, 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 no. But how to also stay open enough to follow those currents, and to call, no, 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 clear out.
It's a lot of presence. It's a lot of checking in, and yeah. And one of the sayings that when I hear somebody say it, it's usually some like quote unquote motivational speaker or something. Well, everyone has the same amount of hours in the day. I'm like, no,
Nope.
that is so not true.
Not.
And then the thing about giving your energy when you're already depleted, it's not like you're gonna make it back again. It's not like you can just go fill it up again. Like, oh, I'll just have a good night's sleep. Maybe I'd love a good night's sleep, but I don't know when that's gonna come. And so people that have a chronic illness or chronic pain, it's like not only do you have a limited amount of energy, but you better be very conscious about what you're going to quote unquote spend it on, because when it's gone, you don't know when more is coming.
Yeah.
I had a client who had a chronic illness, and she was very colorful about her metaphors. She was great. I wanted her to make a little book of metaphors for chronic pain. She's like, I fell in the hole in the sidewalk. I'm in there. I'm still in the hole. And for her, it was like this image of you're just walking down a street, like it's maybe, a shopping street or coffee shops or by the park. There's people walking all around doing their thing, talking, and you're just walking as one of them. And all of a sudden, this hole appears in the sidewalk like a big pit. And your next step, you're down in the bottom of the hole, and nobody sees you. They just keep walking by and doing their thing. And there's no ladder to get out, and it's really dark, and you don't get heard when you yell. And you don't know how long you're going to be in the hole in the sidewalk. You're just there, and it's like, yeah, that's right. And so try to learn, is there something I did to make myself get too close to that hole and fall in? Did I use more energy than I had because I'm running on empty all the time anyway? Or, did it just happen and it's out of my control? I think the person who takes good health for granted doesn't have those kind of experiences. I mean, maybe if they get in an accident, right?
This kind of journey of empathy and vulnerability that I've been going down the Brene Brown piece that like really helped to illustrate the difference between empathy and sympathy is when the person is in the hole and someone walks over and says, "What are you doing down there?" And they say what they're doing, and the person standing up top is like, "Oh, that's horrible," and then moving on. But the empathy is like, "I'm coming down to be with you," but not to like fix it, just to be with you.
Yeah. Or I'm just going to sit here. I don't want to be in that hole because I won't be able to get out either. But like, let's just be here together for a while and see if there's anything that comes to us that's helpful, whatever that is, right? Like, I'm not your rescuer, but I'll be with you for a while anyway.
Which I think brings us to interdependence in a lot of ways, and what that looks like because of this. Whatever fears it is for people to extend themselves, or whatever that problem is, to like reach across the chasm, to like be able to have the generosity and be able to have the thing that is welcome, the suggestion, the offering, whatever, how to just even start to like weave any amount of interdependence.
This was just the beginning, and I really hope you listen to the whole thing because it gets so raw and real. I had this super strong feeling I needed to go to Anusuya's living room bed for this podcast, and I still can't totally believe it happened. Anusuya has been paving the way for disability justice, deep listening, and normalizing suicidality in altered states. She reminds us that being in other times and worlds is sacred, and she's been raising this flag since before I was born. What a treat. There's so much wisdom in this bed. We talk about how to get clear on our yeses and nos, hiding away when we aren't well enough versus having people see us at our sickest, and how we've come to feel the sacredness inside of insufferable pain. To watch it all, click in the link in the show notes or head to heldtogetherpod.com, where you can subscribe for full-length episodes, raw conversations, not just this one, and other behind-the-scenes goodness. This is where you can also connect with me and us. We want it to be available to everyone, so no need to pay if you can't. I really don't want this podcast to just show a care web. I want it to be one. I'm hoping we can build it together, learning what that means as we go. Stay tender, stay tangled, stay held together. I don't want this podcast to just show a care web. I want it to be one. We're building it as we go, and I honestly still don't fully know what a care web is, but I'm really into dreaming into it with you. If you want to be part of it, DM me at Xander Pierre Keller on Instagram or TikTok, or email heldtogetherpod@gmail.com. Finding my voice through song has been a big part of my journey. I knew there needed to be held together music, so I sent some voice memos to my friend Ember Bradbury. She responded with the first of many held together songs, the one we're singing here. Find her as Sorona Isle. Stay tender, stay tangled, stay held together.
Held together we survive, held together we nourish, held together we thrive, held together we flourish. Held together